Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from Figured Cat. I was just about to start making a tag for UK Stampers Forum Facebook group swap, and I thought, put the video on, Catherine, have a little chat with people, and people can see what you're doing. So, on a random Thursday, I'm saying random Thursday, I'm actually filming this on a Sunday, and I am filming in advance. So, but I always put tags on my blog on a Thursday. So, on a random Thursday, here is a video from me. And I don't think I've done UK Stampers Forum swaps tags on a blog before, on a video before. I don't think I have. I could be wrong, but there you go. So basically the only rules for it are it must include some stamping somewhere. So, oh, I mean, no, do you know what? I know a couple of months ago I did do one that was on here. I think it was using the Pierced Blooms dies. So, no, I have done a UK Stampers Forum swap video on here before. So, yeah, if you want to see that, I'd say I'll put it below, but I'm rubbish at remembering to do that. So maybe I won't put it below because maybe I'll just forget, as usual. But yeah, if you search back on previous videos, there is one for Pierced Blooms tag that I did that was for the UK Stampers Forum Facebook group. I tend to join in this this particular swap every single month. I just really enjoy making this size tag and having a play, to be honest. And I really love some of the tags I've had in response. Well, I've loved all of it. I can't. No, there was one I didn't particularly enjoy, but there was only one, and I've been doing it for a couple of years now. So I've got one on display at the moment, which is this one, which I absolutely love. I tend to switch out what I've got on display, and this was created by Lynn. Love it, absolutely love it. I don't think I've got any other tags currently on display. No, I've got some of my other swap things on display. Oh no, there's one. This is so cute. Look at this. Here's looking at you. Funky. I love this. So she's obviously used, I'm saying she, yep, Joanne Stewart. She's used a patterned paper in the background. And then she's stamped the meerkat. I think Creative Stamping Magazine. I think it was one of their stamps. It's not one that I owned, I don't think. Right. Don't know what I'm doing. Other than, so let me just explain. I've taken a Ranger tag. I've only currently got the craft ones, and I've done the last couple of months I've done in the craft, so I decided not to do craft this time. So these are the Ranger number 8 craft tags, and I usually make one that's this sort of size. So I just started by grabbing some random white cardstock that's actually got some marks on it, but I'm not bothered if it's got marks on it. It won't matter at the end of it. Now, to the side of me, I've got some bits of scraps that I can't bear to not use on something. So I'm thinking this might be the something they get used on. What do you reckon? Yeah, I think we'll start with that. Actually, we won't start with that. We'll start with some stamping. Right, let me go grab a stamp. What stamp do I want to use, though? I'm feeling like I want a text type background, so I think I might grab some Paperartsy stamps. So you can tell I wasn't prepared to start videoing this because I've got nothing out at all. And I'm crafting by the seat of my pants. I'm thinking that stamp set is calling to me today. So yeah, crafting by the seat of my pants. Really don't know what it is that I'm going to do. But this is calling to me today for some reason. Very messy acrylic block, but that's normally the way. Contemplating No, because I'm going to need to use wet medium on it. I was going to say I'm contemplating using colour. Apologies, things falling off my shelf. I'm probably going to use a wet medium. Or do I not use a wet medium? I'm just really torn now. Apologies. Yeah, I really wanted to use colour on this suddenly, rather than black. But my concern is that this is a water-based ink, Stampin' Up! Ink, and if I then add a wet medium on top of, you know, to glue those strips down, I am going to run the risk of things bleeding and not quite staying true. But you know what? I think that's okay. I think we can cope. So I think we'll go like so. We'll fill in the gaps later. Yeah. Not so bothered about there being a bit in the middle that's not covered, because I can probably cover that with the focal image. Now this is always fun. Rich Raspberry, which is the colour that I just used for that ink. One of my favourite ever Stampin' Up! Inks. It's an absolute bugger for staining everything. There's so much pigment in it, look. Oh, it's lovely. But it does tend to stain your fingers, you end up purple everything if you're not careful. So I'm just going to give this a really good clean with a baby wipe, and sometimes I reuse the baby wipes, but not when I've used Rich Raspberry. In fact, any of the sort of the red based inks from Stampin' Up, they tend to be so heavily pigmented that you always end up with red and pink everywhere. So I'm thinking, that works. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll use I think Prick Stick to stick this down. I'm thinking sewing. I did sewing on last month's tag, and I'm contemplating doing it again. I'm very into using my sewing machine at the moment to add some texture. Yeah, I like that. So anyway, how is everyone today? Today it is currently raining outside my window. I can hear slosh when the cars go past. Oh, okay. Didn't mean to do that, but I've ended up doing it anyway. So this is actually, I've realised, a watercolour paper or cardstock that I've used as a base. So it means that things sit on the surface of it a little bit until the water has soaked it in. So what I've now done is created some shading. I'm absolutely fine with that. It works fine, but look already. Pinky Fingered Cat, absolutely living up to my name. So yeah, so it's not the best of weather today. Yesterday I went for a lovely long walk in beautiful sunshine, a bit chilly, the wind, but beautiful sunshine. Bear in mind, I am not filming this just before the weekend. This blog and post is going out, so it may well be that you're now thinking, well, it was glorious weather the whole of last weekend, or it's been raining for months, what's she talking about? But hey ho. Right, this is always fun, trying to work out which direction is that direction, so I didn't put it on the right way. But yeah, so yesterday I had a beautiful long walk, gorgeous weather. Today, horrific rain. But I'm quite pleased that I therefore chose yesterday for my long walk and I wasn't attempting it today. I'll just do a bit of random stamping off to carry on that number theme. I'm just after getting a bit of texture in the background. That's all I'm doing here. A bit of something. I'm wondering if instead of archival on this next one we actually go in for something a bit bolder. And then do we want to use the I think we do, which is making me want to not do that. Right, I think we'll stop with the background stamping for a moment. It will swap that back out. We'll do a little bit of edging just because it starts to, it won't be the last time I do this, I'm sure. It starts to frame the tag and the artwork. I think we might just off camera do a wee bit of sewing and then we'll come back and decide on our focal image. Now I've got archival ink on my fingers as well, just to, you know, finish it off. Bear with. Okay, so I've done some sewing, but I think there's something wrong with my sewing machine. I'm guessing I'm going to be covering the back of this tag. I mean, I don't mind messy sewing at all, but I think this sort of spells out general incompetence. Oh, my mum would be so ashamed if she could see that, because my mum was a seamstress. She had her own business making special occasion wear like bridal gowns and stuff. Can you imagine that the daughter of someone who makes such exquisite clothes, that's what she's done to her sewing machine? There's definitely something wrong and I'm not entirely sure how to fix that, but there we go. It's called make it up as you go along, Catherine. That's how you do it. Right, now focal image. I'm definitely feeling this particular young lady here. So this is stamp set is one of the Hot Picks ones, and it's got this lady here, but I don't know. I want to use her, but then I don't. Let me have a little nosy in my stash of what else I might be able to use. So, I've just suddenly thought, so those papers, those scraps of papers, are the Art by Marlene collage papers, and I've got this sort of like die cut book, and I very rarely use it. As you can see, there's some pages I've hardly tapped into at all. I'm wondering if maybe those girls are liking that. Okay, so I'll punch them out and see what we think. I know means it's not a stamped image, but we've got stamping in the background already, and I imagine I might do something stamped as a sentiment. Oh, now I've turned the page and I've seen those. I'm thinking the Crown Girl. Yeah, thinking. Oh, and I'm already going, oh, I know a stamp that I can use with that. And I'm thinking we might use those hearts at some point, so let's grab those out anyway. And we'll grab another one because we like threes of things. as embellishments. Might do something with them as embellishments. See, now I've seen that and I'm thinking I want to use that as well. No, just almost need to stop looking. Right, decision made. We're going for Art by Marlene for the focal image. Now, I do feel like she needs a base. Now, does she want a base of book print? Is that going to cover too much of the background? I don't know. Does anybody else get really indecisive when they're crafting? I think sometimes it's too much choice. Like, so just then, it was too much choice with having pulled out that whole book. And maybe I should have just gone for my first option. I don't know. But sometimes if you don't look further, you miss the perfect thing, don't you? And I'm feeling like this is the perfect image that I want to use today. But because I don't have a plan, and I quite often craft without a plan. Those that have been watching me for a while know I don't craft with a plan. But yeah, sometimes the indecisive, oh look, see, we've lost a little bobble off there, so I'm going to lose the bobble off all parts of the crown so it doesn't look odd. But yeah, sometimes the indecisiveness is really bad and I just really struggle. Some days it's not so bad and some days I can just get on with it and it's all fine. But I think because I sat down, I think it's worse because I've put the video on and I'm feeling a sense of time pressure because you don't want to be here forever watching me faff. That I feel like I've got to make a decision quickly, and that in some ways makes it even harder to make the decision. Right, well, we might use this, and if we do, we just need to tear it down so it's smaller. Further up, and maybe the sentiment across here somehow. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, well, if I'm liking it, let's stick her down. Here we go. Right. So the book print that I'm using is actually one of my old textbooks from university. It's an introduction to Shakespeare, and it's a nice white paper. Now sometimes when we use book print we're after the antique-y looking creams and the old paper look, but this is really good for doing slightly more modern look rather than the vintage look. Yeah, I've used over half the book in a very short space of time doing a few different projects on it. I just think it's a really nice fresh white paper. Now I am liking it, so I'm wondering, I need to leave those to one side. I need to think about the sentiment or the title or the quote or something that I want on there. I think I've got an idea, so I'm going to pause you whilst I go find it. Apologies for wobbling you. Okay, so I've got a few options actually. I'm liking the own your dreams. I'm thinking that would be nice there. Oh, I've got these a badass art chick stamps. We rise by lifting others, like that. I love the slightly snarky type comments. I'm not mean, I'm nice with cruel intentions. We all have problems, mine are just more important than yours. Just not the sorts of things that you put on a randomly generated swap though. As if I knew it was going to. I might have people that I might send that to, because they would get it, but some people wouldn't. My awesomeness amazes me too sometimes. Maybe that's not the right one. That doesn't feel right. And I love the empowered women. Empower women. Thinking I might put that in the background anyway. But then I think it's We Rise by Lifting Others. That's the one that's now speaking to me. To go with the empowered women. Empower women. Which is so true, because unfortunately a lot of people are out to not empower each other. Sorry, that was me grumbling there because of the fact that that's happened in my life a few times. But I think just sticking that randomly in the background, and I'm using a very old white crafting to do that. And I think what I might do is just stick a bit of embossing powder over it, because just take another piece of this book print. That'll otherwise smudge anyway, so I think this way I can set that. It's still not going to be bright white because this is a clear embossing powder, but at least then it's not going to smudge, because crafting just takes forever to dry. I'm going to pop you on mute whilst I do this. Okay, that did not come out as white as I was expecting, but you know what? I'm fine with it. It's there. I know it's there. Whether the recipient will ever see it properly and know what it says is another matter, but I know it's there and I'm happy with that. Now, to think about how we do this and whether I want to put it on as a panel over the top, or even just emboss it in black. Ooh, more decisions, Catherine. Let's stamp it off first and do it as sentiments. This is just literally copy paper. Might end up having to go and grab proper cardstock in a second, but this gives me a little bit of an idea, doesn't it, as to what it'll look like as an actual panel. And also I'll need to cut it straight. Very tempted to go black ink onto there, heat emboss with the clear. Ooh, wish me luck. You know, it's always this point where you go, oh, why am I doing this to myself? I'm putting pressure on myself that I'm going to stamp onto a project that I'm really happy with. I've almost finished, and yet I'm going to now potentially screw it up by pushing the boundaries a bit too far. Oh dear. No, I think we might have got away with that one, you know. Right. Again, going to stick you into silent whilst I heat emboss. Okay, that came out perfectly. That's how I wanted it to look. So, contemplating what we do with these hearts. Well, I think the first thing we do is we cut them out because we don't like them with the big white border. Can't fussy cut and talk, apparently. Suddenly I'm really quiet, didn't I? Thinking a layer of glossy accents on these two once they're stuck into place, just to give them that bit of dimension and shine, which obviously then works with the heat embossed elements. before I do Glossy Accents though, I will have to sort out the top of the tag to turn it into a tag, because at the moment I've realised I've not got the hole to put my ribbons and trims through. In that going up there. No, like that on that there. Sorry, talking to myself again. Yeah, like that. Right, let's stick these down. Okay, press those down into place. Doesn't take long for high tack glue to decide to dry, and we need to go in and pop a hole where the tag goes. I'm just going to go and grab the original tag so I can line it up so that it goes in roughly the same place. And this is a really old hole punch, but it works perfectly and means I don't have to reach and go and get my crocodile out. Right, my brain is going Posca pens, so I'm going to grab those. Apologies, I keep wobbling because I don't know why this seems to be particularly fragile. That's why I hadn't actually tightened the clamp, which has probably just made it even wobblier, and you're all probably seasick now. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm just thinking a bit of white Posca pen doodling wouldn't go amiss. And I'm thinking a bit of on there as well, maybe a little bit there. Liking that. And then I think a little bit of pink. I mean, literally, these are the tiniest things in the world that probably no one's going to notice that I've done. Well, they might notice the bright pink, but the white is probably just going to blend into the background paper. But it makes me feel like I've done something that's made it mine. I'm going to just add a little bit of extra edging to those, just because it gives them something else, and a little bit of pink along the border. I think we do need to edge it again. I'm feeling like it needs a little bit more depth to the border. So I'm going to grab that archival ink again, add even more. I remember when I was on the Seth Apter workshop, which was one of the best workshops I've ever been to. Absolutely adored it. Such a nice fella and so creative and so clever. And he's a man that just, there never seems to be an end point to a project. He tends to just go layer and layer and layer and layer and layer. But he must have got us to ink the edges of our project 6-8 times, something like that. Don't know. He was definitely one for adding more. It was one where it was more is more. And more is even more. I can't remember the phrase that he used to use. He was like, you're always at least one layer away from genius or something. I can't remember what he said, but it amused me. Another course I really enjoyed was the Art by Marlene one, which is where I got these products from. She was lovely. So chilled out, and yeah, it was a really nice day that. Went all the way up to Middlesbrough, met up with the best part of that weekend was meeting up with my lovely friend Darcy, who I adore. I miss seeing my crafty, well, she's like a crafty sister, but yeah, I miss seeing crafty people, crafty friends. I've been doing some crafting via, well, we started off on Zoom, but now we're doing it by Google Meet because you can get longer. Zoom, it kicks you out after 40 minutes, so we are doing a little bit. Oh, I was going to back it, wasn't I? So there's no point in me putting that through. Let's create the backing. Oh, now, actually thinking, therefore, I might take the rich raspberry cardstock if I've got any. Well, I hadn't got rich raspberry, but I have got blackberry bliss, and it's the next best thing. And you know what? I quite like it with the dark as well. So just roughly want a slightly larger border and the tag. But yes, no, the Art by Marlene workshop was good too. As I say, that was up here near, it was Middlesbrough. I've been to Middlesbrough before. And obviously for me the best part was seeing my friend the night before. I went to go and watch, Bohemian Rhapsody, the film. It's hilarious because I can't remember what the choices were, but there was another choice and we were like, oh, that sounds a bit sad. Both of us completely forgetting what happens to Freddie Mercury, even though we both knew. It's not like we didn't know. So obviously we did bawl our eyes out, you know, as we do. We had a lovely meal in a Turkish restaurant, I think it was. Really lovely. Had a couple of drinks. Put the world to rights. We'd been putting the world to rights since we'd met up in my hotel room. And then we went to the cinema, watched a film together. Had a few more drinks, and then her lovely partner came, picked us both up, took me back to my hotel, and it was just a wonderful thing to see her. We hadn't seen each other in person for quite some time before that, and it was really nice. So that was the best thing of that weekend, absolutely. But the next day, went to the workshop and really enjoyed it. Marlene was really chilled out, as I say, and very generous with imparting techniques and knowledge. And yeah, it was a good workshop. We made some very large tags, which I don't know where they are now. I think they've gone into journals and sort of might even have actually been pulled apart again and used for other things along the way now, as it was a while ago. And I don't have the huge amount of storage for the amount of stuff that I actually create, so I do end up sort of reusing and recycling things as I go along. But yeah, that was a good workshop. But yeah, going back to the Southampton one, he must have made us edge our project so many times. He was going, no, just keep adding more, and so sometimes I forget that, and sometimes I remember. So today I thought, no, needs more depth. Ink again. Not quite to the level that he's gone. Now this is not sticking at the bottom. I need to add more glue. And at least that way I have covered up all that horrifically messy. I shouldn't put the lid to the glue in my mouth and try and talk. That's weird. Yeah, my horrifically messy sewing that was going on there. I'm just going to hold that down for a second. So what I did was I grabbed some random scraps of ribbon that were in my stash to add to the top, which I realise you can't see on camera because I've pushed it out of the way. I've just got glue all over my fingers, so I'm just trying to grab another baby wipe. Now, finishing touches. I'm thinking sequins and I'm thinking Glossy Accents. Sequins. What have we got going on for sequins? So this sequin mix came from Little Rainbow Moon. And they're flat sequins, so they make a bit of a difference. I like those bright pink ones. Yeah, that'll do. Yep, don't all laugh at once. Who could see that was going to happen in advance? Sequins everywhere. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, that's what I was after. 5 of those. Stick that away. Right. And my Glossy Accents. Firstly, to glue these in place, I like Glossy Accents on a sequin because I don't mind then if it's split up in the middle, it sort of creates a nice little blob. So yeah, that's made me really quite, I want to get back to a craft workshop and go learn new stuff, be inspired by someone else. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Spend time with creative folks. That would be good. We'll get there. We'll get there. At some point we'll get there. I mean, at the point I'm filming this, I'm just trying to think in my head. Yeah, restaurants will be starting to open again, probably just as this video comes out, or that's the plan anyway at this stage. Who knows whether it'll happen. We've got to the point where we can eat outside. Not always the best in British weather. I'm just going to grab my Winker Stella because I feel like I want a bit of sparkle, but I don't want to put my Glossy Accents on it. But I think a bit of sparkle on the crown would be a good idea. I love Winker Stella for doing this. It's just fab. There we go. No idea if any of that comes out on the video, but a bit of Winker Stella on it. Oh yeah, you can see the shine there and the sparkle, shimmer. And we've got Glossy Accents, so these need to dry, so I need to put this somewhere safe. But I think I'm done. I'm really happy with that. What do you reckon? Yeah, I think that's nice, a bit different. So, if you enjoyed that, please give me a thumbs up. Apologies for the random rambling throughout the whole video. Just don't know what I'm saying when I'm talking to you. It's really weird to talk to yourself, but talk to other people at the same time in terms of you out there in YouTube land. So, if you did enjoy that, give me a thumbs up. And until next time, oh, subscribe. Yeah, there's more videos. There'll always be more videos. So yeah, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all of that palaver that people tell you at the end of their videos. I'm trying to do that, but forget every time what I meant to say. So until next time, I hope you're well and goodbye.